it's Lon and we're checking out the HP NV24. This is a 24-inch 1920 by 1080 display from the folks at HP. You do have 23.8 inches of usable screen area. As you can see, the bezel on this is very, very slim. It actually is a very nice looking display. It also has IPS technology on its panel, so as you can see, when you tilt the screen sideways, you're not losing image quality, which you'll see on a lot of cheaper displays. So I like that, especially if you're working with a couple people around the screen. You're all able to see the image very nicely. It doesn't move up and down on its stand, but you do have the ability to kind of rotate it this way. So you do have a little bit of adjustability, but it doesn't move up or down. I don't see any of those VESA mounts on the back here, so I don't know if it's going to be mountable on anything beyond what it comes with for a stand. You do have two HDMI ports. One is MHL, which will also pass power to a mobile device, so it'll charge while it's plugged in. You have VGA for connecting older devices and a audio port on here as well. So it's got all the basics that you'd want out of a monitor. It also has Beats audio on board. I've never really found a lot of value in the Beats brand being stamped on all these HP products I've been taking a look at lately. The sound is okay out of it. It's certainly loud. These speakers really do put out some sound, and it doesn't sound awful. It's not as bassy as you would expect Beats to be, but it's not overly tinny either, so it's definitely doable. You can also pass HDMI audio from your device to the monitor. On the front of the display, you have some capacitive controls that will light up when you touch it. And one of the things I recommend Mac users doing is going to the image control section here, going over to custom scaling and turning the overscan off, because that will make the image look much, much better. In fact, when I connected my Mac to this for the first time, it looked horrible. So when I turned off that overscan option, everything started to look better. Now, when you have a display of this size, 1920 by 1080, you are going to see some pixels. So if you're getting used to that Retina display on your Mac or a high DPI display on your Windows computer, you will certainly see less sharpness on this display just because it just has less pixel density. So we're getting kind of spoiled by these really high-end displays that are showing up on these notebook computers. But it does look really nice, and I have to say the angle on this, the viewing angle on this is just excellent. Look at that. I mean, you can see this image clearly wherever you go, provided you don't turn the monitor off. It does have a 7-millisecond response time, so it's a little bit slower than some of the gaming monitors that might be out there. So this might not be a good option for hardcore gamers, but I think for everyone else that's looking for a decent display, I think this is a pretty nice choice. Not very expensive, around $250 to $275, so it's not going to break the bank. The screen is reflective, so it's not an anti-glare display, but it isn't as bad as I've seen some of these displays, especially the Mac display that I use up in my upstairs office, which you really have to keep away from windows and whatnot. This is not bad, but you're certainly going to want to make sure that you don't have a lot of light shining on it during the day, because it will reflect back a little bit. So that is the HP NV24, and I really like this display primarily because of its viewing angle. The image looks good no matter which way you really look at it, and I think that's pretty important, especially if you're having ergonomic issues or you don't want to contort yourself to get the best image out of a monitor. This one looks good no matter which way you look at it, and I think that is an important selling point. The sound is decent. It's really actually just a good run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road monitor, and I think that says a lot. So check it out. It's the HP NV24. I do think next year we're going to start seeing displays that pack more pixels into this size. But for now, I think this is pretty competitive with many other screens in its price point. This is Lon. Thanks for watching.